Welcome to Red-tastic. Story 1. My boyfriend and I have been together about 6 months. He has one child with his ex-fiancée. She has 3 kids total. His ex hates me, strictly for the fact that my boyfriend has moved on and it looks serious between us. She's made it clear that I'm not allowed to be alone with their daughter in any capacity because I'm not her mom and I'm not going to be. She doesn't even like it when it's my boyfriend's weekend and we go out together as a trio for a movie. She's gone as far as saying she would call the cops if he ever left his daughter with me. She does this with all the baby daddies. Around 11ish this morning, she starts sending me texts, hitting me up on Messenger, etc., asking me to come get her daughter and keep her for the day. Her reasoning? She got invited to a Super Bowl party and the other 2 boys were with their grandparents, and my boyfriend had to work. So could I get off my ass and come get her and keep her overnight? I sent her a screenshot of her first text to me, the "I'll call the cops" threat, and told her nope, can't do that. 30 minutes later, my boyfriend, his ex, and several of our mutual friends are all blowing up my phone and social media, calling me horrible because I won't go pick her up. My boyfriend left me a voicemail that I spent an hour crying over. Nobody will talk to me. And I know if I post screenshots, they'll just say I should have picked her up and made her feel special. We could have had girls' time. I'm still in pieces over it. I volunteered to go into work just so I won't be home alone crying. Am I the a-hole for not taking her up on the offer and spending the day with my boyfriend's daughter? Edit. I understand taking his daughter's side. I understand being there for her. But what I don't understand is why he would take someone who seems to repeat this inappropriate behavior before even assessing the situation. That's not supporting his daughter in any way. That's what I thought when I sent her the screen grab. Now I kinda wish I'd just gone to get her. My insides are all twisted and I feel sick every time I look at my phone. I'm scared to check what they're saying about me. Update. Apparently, the ex had posted that her dad had a heart attack and I was refusing to pick up their daughter so she could go to the hospital. That's why everyone went nuclear. But her dad is fine, had a good time at his own party, had no effing clue he had had a heart attack, apologized to me for his daughter, says she's always been a handful. I'm such an effing idiot. OP, you're not stupid. And all those people suck. If they had enough time to cuss you out, they have enough time now to send you a quick apology. Don't let your boyfriend off the hook. It looks like you're blaming yourself here and you shouldn't. The ex is in the wrong, but your boyfriend is not in the clear here. If he had talked to you instead of just accusing you, he would have known something wasn't right. And he hasn't apologized yet. He sucks. Again, you are not stupid. Now for some comments. I'm going to be real with you here. You need to dump this loser. Think about it this way. You said that his ex has 3 children with 3 different fathers. Not in itself a deal breaker, but your boyfriend saw how she treated each of her exes, like a psycho. And he thought, yes, I'm going to have a baby with her too. On top of that, he verbally assaulted you the second you didn't do exactly what his ex wanted you to do. This guy is trash. If you stay with him, this will be your life. Your boyfriend should be blowing up your phone to grovel and apologize for his behavior, but is not. Not a peep. Bet you when you do see him, he'll be defensive and say shit like, well, if you had just done what she had told you, none of this would have happened. A good man and a good boyfriend would have called you calmly to ask what was going on, not talked to you like a disobedient dog, and then not even have the balls to fall over to say sorry for his outburst. They don't respect you. Respect yourself and get the F out this shit show immediately. You're not stupid. And please prove it to yourself by getting out of this drama-filled family. Shit like this will happen again and again. It's been only half a year. Don't waste more time. Don't entangle yourself even further in their crap. You kept saying your boyfriend is such a good guy. A good guy wouldn't leave you such a message. And even if he had a blip like that for some magical reason, he would be with you already apologizing like crazy. The moment he learned that his ex lied. He's not a good guy. Thankfully, you're learning this now, not some years later. Story 2. My wife and I have 2 children, son 24 male and daughter 17 female. I have a high-paying job and have gone out of my way to provide for them in any way I can, since I grew up much differently. S has always understood this and appreciated what I've worked for. He got a job on his own in college, but I still support him a little. He's always respected me. D is very different. She's always been spoiled, spends money on frivolous things, and will throw a fit if she doesn't always get what she wants. When my children passed their driver's test, I promised them both a car. S passed the first time, got a car, used one, and was thankful. D took the test twice. She first threw a fit when I didn't reward her with a car after her failed test. D pretty much avoided me up until her second attempt, told me she hated me and that I was unfair because I gave S a car the first time around. Second time D passed, and I got her a car. She threw another fit, this time because the car wasn't the one she wanted and it was used. After years of her acting like this, I finally reached my breaking point. I resold that car, gave her a much smaller budget and told her she needed to find a used car with that, and that this would be the last non-essential purchase I would ever be making for her. If D got a job, I would help her with college tuition. But that was it. I did this so that she would learn herself the value of money and stop using mine. This has gone on for about 5 months. D tells me that she's miserable at her job and has no time to socialize or study. On some occasions, wife has almost caved, but we have stood firm and planned to do so until D's birthday last Saturday. D came to me and asked if we could go to a very expensive restaurant for her birthday. Wife and I agreed and booked a table for us, D and S. When we were there, she asked if she could order whatever she wanted. It seemed odd to me at the time, but I said that as long as it wasn't alcohol, there shouldn't be a problem. Everything seemed fine until we got the bill. The meal D got was much more expensive than that of everyone else, but I didn't mind because it was her money. S offered to settle with me later for his portion of the meal. I asked D if she would be doing the same, rather than paying now. D exploded, calling me abusive and that I promised to pay for her birthday dinner. I didn't, and that she didn't deserve to be treated like this. This continued at home. D said that it wasn't fair as we still support S. I said that while this is true, S respects her, unlike her. D said that if I was a good father, I would have paid for her birthday meal. I said that if she was a good daughter, she would have treated me with respect to begin with. Wife later told me that I'm being an a-hole because it was her birthday. We already got her a present, Switch game, but we should have just paid for the dinner, and that I was taking this too far. Am I the a-hole? Edit to add, I just want to say this was not intended to be manipulative to her. We do not really ever eat out as a family, we eat at home. She has always been expected to either pay when out with her friends or eat for free at home. My wife easily could have made her dinner. It would have been free. She wanted to eat out. Also, the meal she requested was around $100. It was a ridiculous amount of food which she ordered and wasted a good portion of it. Everyone else was closer to the 50 to 70 range. Still a lot, yes, but we finished our portions. In hindsight, should I have expressed it further? Probably. However, I thought it was clear that $100 worth of food is not an essential purchase. You're the a-hole, OP. This is terrible parenting. The more you treat your daughter like a bad kid, the worse she will act and the worse your relationship will get. She is still a teenager. Her behavior isn't always going to be perfect. And it's your job as a parent to correct that without being an a-hole to her. You're the a-hole for treating her differently. Example, requiring her to get a job and pay her own way when it sounds like your son didn't do that until college. Now for some comments. I can't believe someone who admits he makes good money thinks a Switch game and a birthday dinner is too much. My parents are poor as F and could spend that on my birthday. And would, because a dinner and a game is pretty standard. It's not even a Switch that he's getting her, just a Switch game. This guy is a miserable Scrooge. You're the a-hole. You speak about your daughter with low-key contempt. She may be spoiled, but she didn't get there on her own. You making her pay for a birthday dinner with family is beyond effed up. When she asked about getting the plate, you should have said you weren't paying. You were curious but didn't tell her. I almost wonder if you were using this as a teach her a lesson moment. No wonder you and she have differences. I wouldn't be surprised if money was on the top. You're the a-hole. You really don't seem to like your daughter. I would never assume a minor child dining with their parents was responsible for the bill. You're literally making your child, who you're legally obligated, not to mention morally obligated to, provide for, pay for her own food. You knew what she was asking when she asked if you could go to the restaurant for her birthday. You also knew what she was asking when she asked if she could order whatever she wanted, and you should have made clear you expected her to pay then, rather than playing dumb. While you're so busy hating your daughter and how she behaves, maybe you should reflect on the fact that you're the one who raised her like this. Story 3. I, 30 female, moved into a 2-bedroom place with the understanding that the landlord would be assigning another roommate at some point. I didn't really like this much, but I didn't have a choice, since housing is so hard to find where I am, especially when you're trans. One morning a week ago, I was woken up by the roommate, 20s male, moving in. I would have liked some notice, but whatever. What was really a problem was that he had a small kid. I really didn't like this, but had no choice but to accept it. I have a really big room with a bathroom, so I could deal with just isolating myself away from the rest of the house. The problems started immediately. Roommate let his kid use my microwave and he just exploded a mysterious substance all over it. I was horrified and demanded the roommate clean it up, but he said he was too tired from parenting. So I cleaned it up and put it in my room as well as all my other appliances. My room has the space, and while it's not ideal, I could fit my fridge, microwave, toaster, etc. all in there with a bit of creative setting up. He really didn't like this though and demanded I put the stuff back out in the kitchen. I refused and told him to get his own appliances for the kid to destroy. He said he couldn't afford to. I said not my problem and went back into my room and locked it. Today I woke up to him knocking loudly on my door. I was kind of terrified by this strange aggressive man behaving like that, so I texted him asking what he wanted. He said he needed me to watch his demon for the day because of a family emergency. I said no because I had plans. Scheduled event in an MMO, so I couldn't cancel without letting a lot of people down. He kept insisting, so I just turned my phone off and ignored him. I don't know how that situation resolved itself, but shortly after, I got a call from the landlord asking if I could help with the kid more because the tenant is trying to break the lease over it. I said, no, I'm not a live-in babysitter. He agreed in the end and said that he wouldn't make the mistake of letting a kid live in the house again. I thanked him and we ended the call. Just now, I needed to grab something of mine from the living room and my roommate was there looking distraught. I tried to ignore him, but he just yelled at me. What kind of so-called women are you? That really pissed me off. So I said, what kind of so-called man needs a live-in mommy to wrangle his kid? And went back to my room. I felt a little bit bad about that comment, but I felt that his transphobic comment was really uncalled for, so I snapped. Am I the a-hole? Now for some comments. It's so funny. He's both sexist for putting the childcare on her because she's a woman, and transphobic for the comment. But at least the sexism is for her as a woman. So really, if you think about it, his bigotry is actually progressive. What a modern world we live in. I feel sorry for the next person who gets this guy once he moves out. I don't think his comment was transphobic. The way he said it, so-called women, was something cis women are told regularly. Women who don't follow gender norms of stereotypical housewife and mothering roles. So he may just be degrading you for being a woman not willing to give into those expected gender norms. Unless he said something additionally that you didn't want to include. However, you're not the a-hole. Doesn't matter your gender, you don't expect a stranger to watch your child and clean up after them. How could you be considered the a-hole in any way? I don't care what kind of genitals you have. If you give birth to a kid, don't expect a stranger to deal with it. Some of us give unattended small children very large energy drinks. Some idiot let his 6-year-old go pick out a drink by himself. Dad went out to the car, expecting the kid to be able to pay for the drink. Dad did not give the kid money to pay, just told him to go and grab a drink. So I helped the cute little boy to the biggest Monster Energy drink. I even took the boy to the counter, gave him $5 and helped him pay, and let him use the change for candy. I hope the dad recognized my evil grin as the kid ran out. What kind of parent even wants to leave his kid alone with a stranger? What kind of life does this poor kid have? No way are you the a-hole. Not the a-hole all the way.